Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Well, we're fast approaching the end of April, aren't we? It's time for this month's wrap-up video. So this is where I'll give you my thoughts on each of the pens I've been using, and then I'll rank them from my least favourite of the month through to my most favourite. And this month, that ranking, I will be honest with you, it's the hardest I've done since I started doing this. I was sat there, it took me about an hour to come up with these rankings because I enjoyed using all of them. So join me now, down on the table, and we'll start taking a look at the pens. Here we are down on the table, pens in use April 2023, all about good value pens. We started the month with the Jinhao 992 with Robert Oster Caffe Crema. The Platinum Preppy with Lamy Crystal Benitoite. A Jinhao 100 Centennial with Robert Oster Great Southern Ocean. That ran out partway through the month, so I brought in a different Jinhao 100, so same model, just different pen. And in there I put Kobe No. 60 Foreign Museum Mint. We also had the Mahjong T5 with Noodlers North African Violet. And a Martian M800 with Lamy Crystal Azurite. Then completing the starting lineup, we had a TWSBI Eco with Robert Oster Orange. So quite a nice selection. We got a good price range as well there. So how did we go? Well, this is one of the few months where I ended up using just the same pens. So all month long, I didn't fetch in any additional pens. And I think that's the first time that's happened for, well, at least 18 months. So it's something that's unusual. Number 6. I had to give this one to the TWSBI Eco. Let me just move this up. There we are, so it's all in frame. There's the Eco entry at the bottom. Now, why did I give this position number 6? There's nothing wrong with the pen. It's a basic looking pen. You know, it's a tube, and at the end of the tube is a nib. Nothing exciting about it. There's no faceting to the barrel. It's just a plain tube. In terms of writing, it's a fine nib. So here's my sample. This is Tomoe River 52 GSM. You know, again, nothing exciting about it. It's nice. It's an orange ink, which again is unusual for me. I normally go for a lot darker colours, but I thought, yeah, let's try this orange. I actually enjoy the orange in this pen. I think it looks nice. Just, it's too fine a line. What I think I may need to do is I might try popping on my 1.1 stub and see if I feel any different then. So nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with the pen, nothing wrong with the ink. I just felt as a combo and compared to all the others, for $45, yeah, it's just not the best value for what I'm doing. So I'm going to give this position number 6. So that's the TWSBI Eco. My next pen at position number 5. Again, I had to think hard about this one, but I decided I would give it to the Mahjong T5. I like the looks of this pen. It looks very, very nice. I like the shape, I like the size, I like the way it feels. It's comfortable in the hand. It's got a nice wide section there. It's a piston filler. So similar to the TWSBI Eco, that was a piston filler as well. But this time we don't have a transparent body. We've just got this ink window. One of my issues is with the ink window. It could do with being wider. I just struggle at times to actually see the level of the ink. Now, I do normally use darker inks in here, so that could also contribute to it. Other reason why I've knocked it down. Can you see here at the end? When I was cleaning this out, I don't know how I managed it, but I managed to twist it a bit too far and the whole internal mechanism came out. And no matter what I try, I cannot get it to go back in properly. I need to spend a bit more time on this. I will get it fixed eventually, but I'm just not certain yet. So, you know, I can unscrew it. That does trigger the piston, but then it comes off. And when I screw it back down, that's as far as it'll go. It'll be something really simple. I know when I go and look for it, it'll be easy, but it affects the score. You know, it means that the pen now, I'm hoping will still be usable. I think the seal is still there. I haven't risked filling it up yet, so I don't know. But that's something to look at, as I say, in the future. But again, I'm ranking. So this comes in at position number 5. If you're interested, the pen I'm using for my scores, this is a hand-turned pen by Just Turnings. It's got a broad nib on it, and the ink is Robert Oster Tranquility. So this was the Mahjong T5. Position number 4. Let me just reposition this before I even start thinking. There we go. Now position number 4. I've got rid of number 6 because we know what that is. So we can see most of the remaining pens. Position 4 goes to the Platinum Preppy. You know, it's an $8 pen. It's brilliant. It's cheap. It works really well. Writes very nicely. The cap, although I constantly want to do that, twist it off, it doesn't, it snaps off. Now the $8 means it doesn't come with the converter. There are loads of threads on here. I've heard of people eyedroppering this. I haven't tried that. What I did is I paid extra. It was about $10 to get the converter. I've got a number of Preppies. I only use one at a time, so I just swap that converter between them. It's a nice simple pen. Nice to write with. Bit on the thin side, so that there's a little bit of a negative. Not as thin as some of the other ones. The section not too bad. Does feel very light. The nib, it's nice and smooth. So why am I putting this down at position number 4? To be honest, it was a case of I thought the other ones I just enjoyed more. There was no real reason to knock this down, but no real reason to mark it up even higher. So for that reason, it got that position number 4. Nothing wrong with the pen. Loved writing with it. It's what I call a sleeper pen. It's one that sits in my pen tray uninked for months at a time. Then when I ink it up, I think, well, why have I been leaving it there? Because it's such an enjoyable pen to write with. So that means this goes in at position number 4. So that's the Platinum Preppy. Let me move this down ever so slightly again. So position number 3. We've got one of 3 pens, either the Jinhao 992, the Jinhao 100, or that Martian M800. Position number 3, I've decided to give to this one here. This is the Jinhao 992. Very small pen. You know, it was $2. You're not expecting much. It's very small. I have to use it posted. Posted, it actually doesn't feel too bad. The section, very similar to what I was saying with the Preppy. This section is thin, and this section feels the thinnest of all the pens I've been using this month. And that's, to be honest, the main reason why I've knocked it, because it's just a thin section. It's writing, very, very nice. Love the way it puts down that shading there with that ink. I've still got ink left in this pen. It's a fine nib, and ink just seems to last and last and last. This and the Eco are the only 2 pens that have still got ink in them. Very nice to pen, but when I'm ranking, I thought to myself, well, yeah, the width makes it feel uncomfortable. I struggle to write more than a page, and it starts to then make my hand ache a little bit. That's the only reason why it was marked down. So this comes in at position number 3. So that's the Jinhao 992. Position number 2. Let me move this up so we've got the last 2 remaining there. So we've only got an option of 2 pens left. Position number 2, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you may think, Gary, how have you done that? I've given position number 2 to the Martian M800. This is one of my favourite pens. I've got all 4 colours in it. I've got 2 with a bottle nib. I bought 2 with the Majohn nib, or the Moonman nib as it was at the time, and I've already swapped one of them. It's a number 6 size nib, so they're fairly easy to swap. There we've got the Moonman nib there. Another one, it's cartridge converter. It's got that spring inside, that agitator. Love writing with this pen. Love it in my hand. Feels very nice. Don't post this pen. It will post. You know, it posts fine, but I don't need to use it posted. Width-wise, nice wide pen. Nice weight. I like this section, this hourglass section. My fingers, I hold my pen down at the bottom. My fingers there just fit ever so nicely. It's as as literally as if it's made for my fingers. Very nice, really enjoy this pen. So why did I mark this one down? Now I'll fetch in the Tomoe River paper again for this one. The reason I've marked it down, it's a fine line. And that's really what's let it down. Now on here, I don't know if it comes over, but as I'm moving this around, I'm getting darker colours coming on some of my writing. The word blue here, to my eye, the B and the L and part of the U, they're black. Whereas a little bit of the tail of the B and the E, they're the blue colour. I think it's meant to be a purple. I don't know. To my eye, it looks blue. But then if you catch it in the right light, like down here, then it does look more purple. But it's a fine line, and that's, to be honest, the only reason it was marked down is because it's fine. The other pen's got medium nib. I had to differentiate, and that was the only way I could think to do it, was how did I feel about the line it was putting down. So this comes in at position number 2. So that was the Moonman M800. So that means the winning pen can only be the Jinhao 100 Centennial. This is the blue version. This is the version that I started the month with. Let's just open this up. Another cartridge converting pen. Medium nib. That's the reason why this one, it's that medium nib. Just looks so much nicer. Or certainly in my opinion it does. As I've already said, partway through the month, it ran out. So I brought in another one of my Jinhao 100s. This time it's in the white colour. One of the downsides with this, the first time I had this, I had a red ink in it, and I filled it by dipping in the bottle, and it stained the section, and even part of the cap here, you can see there's a little bit of a pink tinge. So what I now do is, there's the ink, is I now fill the converter with a syringe. Then I'll leave it a couple of hours for the ink to flow down into the nib. Beautiful pens to write with though. Let me just fetch in that Tomoe River paper so I can show you that. So this is with Great Southern Ocean. That was the last of that sample. Really nice. Is it a blue-black type colour? To me it looks like blue with a lot of grey in it. And I'll say the other one with that Kobe number 60 gets some nice shading coming out with this nice green ink. Bit on the light side for me. Again, it was a sample I got to try. I've got a video, I don't know when, can't remember when it's coming out, where I'm comparing this Jinhao 100 with this ink with a Kaigaloo 316A. So keep your eyes open for that one. But because of the medium nib, because of the way this feels in the hand, it's very, very nice. Fits comfortable, nice wide section. There is down here, there's a bit of a lip, so you know that you're at the bottom of the section. Again, very similar to the M800. My fingers sit there very, very nicely. I don't use this posted. It sort of posts, not very well. But unposted, I find this really nice and comfortable. It's a very enjoyable pen to write. And when I was looking for a pen, when I wanted to reach for a pen, I was reaching for these. More than I was reaching for any other of this month's pens. So for these reasons, we come in at position number 1. So this was the Jinhao 100. Let's swap over the view and we'll take one final look at the pens I've been using in April 2023. So here are the pens. We've got the TWSBI Eco, the Mahjong T5, Platinum Preppy, Jinhao 992, Majohn or Moonman M800, and the winning pen was the Jinhao 100 Centennial. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on these pens? Have you got them? Have you got similar pens? Why not drop a comment down below? Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.